I know you heard the word. The word is that Biden has officially dropped out of the presidential race. Or let me state that more accurately. Biden has been forced out of the presidential race by the Democratic Party, the elites. And they didn't force him out because he has dementia and Parkinson's disease. They didn't force him out because they care for this man so dearly and they want him to retire and live out the rest of his life on a lake in Delaware with his grandchildren. No. They got rid of Biden because the polls show that he can't beat Trump. That's all. That's the reason. Had he been up in the polls, they would have ran that old man, Parkinson's and all, propped him back up in that chair for another 4 years. All right? But they found out that the American people have wised up, and now they have to go with a different plan. And their plan is probably going to be to run Kamala Harris in his place. And in my previous video, I asked the question, what has she done? You know, what has she done? And I have yet to get an honest response to that question. I've looked at the comments and people can't really point to anything that she's done. So that's the limit that the Democratic Party has. They cannot talk about the economy. They can't talk about food prices, gas prices, rents that are up 26%, homes that have tripled in cost, interest rates, inflation. They can't talk about any of those things. They can't talk about world peace with wars raging around the world. They can't talk about immigration with 10 million people coming into the country illegally that are being cared for, given food, shelter, clothing, health care, education. They can't talk about that at the taxpayer's expense, even though we still have our own homeless problem. Even we have veterans that are homeless, but they can't talk about that. So they have to have something that they can scare us to death with so we don't think about those things. That we vote emotionally like they did last time with the defund the police. Remember that? That was the thing. Last election, people went out and they burnt down their communities, took over federal buildings, you know, took over streets. And they told us that we had to reform the police departments. And after the election, we never heard anything else about it. They got in, they got what they wanted, and we were left to clean up the mess. Now we have rampant crime, we have looting, and we have criminals that commit a crime and don't go to jail. That's what we have now. So they can't talk about that. So what is it going to be that they're going to talk about? Is it going to be Trump is a threat to the existence of our democracy? Are they going to run that again, that democracy is on the ballot? Is it going to be that? Is it going to be the Supreme Court? Like, we need to worry about the Supreme Court because they didn't vote the way that they wanted them to vote. So therefore, their threat to the existence of America. You know what I mean? They got to have something. They always have something. So are we going to fall for the scare tactics again? Are we going to fall for the okie doke again? Are we going to be so emotional that we can't reason like they want us to be? Because when we're emotional, we don't use our brain. We use our emotions in our heart. And that's where they want us. Okay? So stay focused and use your brain and rational mind to make your decision as to what's best for the country. So let me know what you think. What is their scare tactic this time? Let me know in the comments. Peace.